The Dallas Cowboys are signing a huge running back. So we're gonna be going through that and 4 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel hitting that red button down below. The first story is the Dallas Cowboys are considered a favorite to land Saquon Barkley. New York Giants star running back Saquon Barkley is set to be a free agent after the 2022 season, and the speculation as to where he could land, if not with the Giants, is underway. The Dallas Cowboys are one of the favored teams if the star decides to depart the Giants. The teams listed as favorites to sign Barkley are up for debate. As for the Cowboys, they will have to make a decision on Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard's futures. Elliott is due to be the second highest paid running back in the league in 2023 with a cap hit of $16.7 million. Pollard broke his fibula in Dallas playoff loss to the San Francisco 49ers and is on the road to recovery as he'll be a free agent in the offseason. Still, it's still hard to imagine Barkley joining the Cowboys, considering his background and comfortability in New York. Barkley, 25, played out the fifth-year option in his rookie contract and set a career high with 1,312 rushing yards in the 2022 campaign. He also posted 57 receptions for 338, and his number of receptions ranked 7th in the league among all players at his position. After a resurgent year, Barkley is hoping for a long-term deal that would fall somewhere in between the $11 million he would get on the franchise tag and the $16 million per year salary Christian McCaffrey got when he signed in April 2020. "I'm not really too concerned about resetting any markets or anything like that," Barkley said the day after the Giants' 38-7 loss in the division round against the Philadelphia Eagles via ESPN's Jordan Raanan. "I'm realistic. However, teams have to be wary that Barkley does have a recent history of injuries. He played just 2 games in 2020 and missed 3 games in both 2019 and 2021. The 26-year-old returned in 2022 after 2 years of being derailed by ankle injuries and a torn ACL. Barkley's stock has never been higher, and neither has his price tag. He has also been named a finalist for the 2022 Associated Press Comeback Player of the Year award." The second story is Cowboys need to go all in on free agent Odell Beckham this offseason. The Dallas Cowboys were not shy about their interest in free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. throughout the backstretch of the 2022 season. They had meetings with him and had star players Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs take him courtside to a Dallas Mavericks game. Ultimately, a deal was not reached due to Beckham not being fully healthy in time to make a playoff run. Now that the season is over, it is time to revisit these negotiations, as the Cowboys need help in the wide receiver room. Looking at the upcoming free agent options at wide receiver, there are not a lot of amazing options to choose from. The best names that stand out are New England Patriots' Jacoby Meyers, Kansas City Chiefs' Juju Smith-Schuster, and Green Bay Packers' Alan Lazard. Odell Beckham appears healthy now. He posted a tweet showing off his route-running abilities, which has many fans excited about a possible return to the field. While attending the Senior Bowl, team owner Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones made several newsworthy statements regarding the upcoming offseason. One of the more notable comments was confirming that the team will resume contract talks with Odell. "Oh, absolutely," Stephen said. "We brought Odell Beckham in for a visit. Decided he wasn't ready to play. That's the way we left it with him. Get ready to play, and then let's revisit. We obviously had an interest for a reason. This should get Cowboys fans excited." Beckham is an experienced playmaker and has had a history of terrorizing the Dallas Cowboys. In his 8 games against the Cowboys, he has 40 receptions, 558 receiving yards, and 8 touchdowns. Talent and playmaking ability has never been the question with Beckham. It has been injuries and team chemistry concerns. He has been outgoing about his interest in joining the Dallas Cowboys and is already close with many of the top players on the roster. One of the main reasons why this move makes the most sense for the Cowboys is that they need players who can efficiently complement WR/CeeDee Lamb in the 2023 season. When the Cowboys traded away Amari Cooper to the Cleveland Browns, the front office was hopeful that Lamb could step up as a true WR1 in the NFL. He certainly lived up to those expectations. He put up a career-high 107 receptions, 1,359 receiving yards, and 9 receiving touchdowns. What the front office was not prepared for was the massive drop-off of production at WR2. Lamb was able to produce like Cooper did as the WR1, but WR Michael Gallup was unable to produce like Lamb did as the WR2 on the team. It is possible that Gallup was never fully healthy throughout the season. With that being said, he still failed to have a game with more than 65 receiving yards. The Cowboys have to make it a priority to have more playmakers rumors around Lamb in the 2023 season. Odell Beckham is a realistic option for the Cowboys this offseason. Many fans want the Cowboys to pursue a big playmaker such as Arizona Cardinals W.R. DeAndre Hopkins through a trade. But realistically, this is not something the Cowboys would be looking to do. Hopkins has a cap hit of $30.75 million. The front office typically does not like to invest this type of money in players they did not draft themselves, and Lamb is due for a contract extension in the near future. The third story is Cowboys could release 2 ex-Pro Bowlers. The Dallas Cowboys could move on from 2 former Pro Bowlers in the same offseason. As proposed by David Moore of the Dallas Morning News, the Cowboys could cut both running back Ezekiel Elliott and offensive tackle Tyron Smith in the same offseason. Both Elliott and Smith are due to earn sizable cap hits for the 2023 season, with Elliott earning $16.7 million, second highest among all running backs, and Smith earning $17.6 million, fourth biggest cap hit on the Cowboys. Elliott and Smith are 2 of the more accomplished and decorated players in a Cowboys uniform, said Moore. They have become associated with this team. That doesn't mean they'll be back next season. As Moore mentions, team owner Jerry Jones says that he wants both veterans back for the 2023 season, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they will be back, especially when one considering the Cowboys will have 2 key free agents, Tony Pollard and Dalton Schultz, that they'll attempt to re-sign this offseason. Moore warns that the futures of both Elliott and Smith are still up for evaluation. The evaluation of every player on the roster is up next at the Star, says Moore. Then the focus shifts to contractual considerations and where those players fit going forward. It's a long way from wanting Elliott and Smith back to saying it will happen. No one has made that declaration. While the Cowboys will obviously try to bring back both stars, likely under restructured deals, there is the possibility that both players have each played their last game in Dallas. Elliott remains an integral part of the Cowboys' offense, but his declining efficiency is cause for concern. The 27-year-old averaged a career-low 3.8 yards per carry and caught a career-low 17 passes. By comparison, Elliott averaged 4.2 yards per carry and caught 47 passes during the 2021 season. Since entering the league in 2016, Elliott has the more carries of any running back in the NFL with 1,881 attempts. The next closest running back is the Tennessee Titans' Derrick Henry at 1,750 carries. Despite his declining efficiency, Elliott remains the team's starting back. That's unlikely to change, even if Dallas re-signs Pollard. Despite Pollard clearly being a more effective playmaker, 5.9 yards per touch compared to Elliott's 3.9 yards per touch, Elliott is the bell cow, having out-carried Pollard 231-193. The veteran running back made it clear he wants to return to Dallas following the team's playoff loss to the San Francisco 49ers. "I want to be here. I don't have a crystal ball. Can't you tell the future? But I definitely want to be here," he told reporters following the game. As far as Smith is concerned, injuries have played a huge role in the 8-time Pro Bowler's demise. The 32-year-old has appeared in just 17 games over the past 3 seasons, meaning he's been unavailable 2 of every 3 games since Mike McCarthy became head coach. The fourth story is putting a positive spin on Cowboys pan Brian Schottenheimer hire. The Dallas Cowboys aren't good at the whole deception thing. Most fans aren't able to predict their team's next high-profile move, but the Cowboys are a huge exception in that regard. That proved true again Saturday when the team confirmed the hiring of Brian Schottenheimer as offensive coordinator. Schottenheimer's unsightly resume as a high-ranking offensive assistant makes you wonder how he keeps getting big-time jobs. Perhaps a lot of it has to do with his last name. His late father, Marty Schottenheimer, coached in the NFL for 21 years for the Browns, Chiefs, the then Redskins, and Chargers, and is deeply respected in the league for what he accomplished. Whatever the case, a large contingent of Cowboys fans are up in arms over Schottenheimer's appointment. While Mike McCarthy will be the offense's mastermind, Schottenheimer will have a prominent role in stalling schemes. The last time we saw Schottenheimer orchestrate an NFL offense, it wasn't pretty. The Urban Meyer circus didn't help. But Trevor Lawrence looked lost as a rookie with Schottenheimer overseeing Jacksonville's passing scheme. Despite all the backlash and fan outrage, allow us to put a positive spin on Schottenheimer becoming Dallas' new OC. For starters, fans shouldn't have a problem with the head coach piecing together his own staff. Unless you're a Mike McCarthy hater, worth noting he's led the Cowboys to their best two-year stretch in over 20 years, McCarthy has shown more than enough to allow fans to give him the benefit of the doubt. McCarthy and Schottenheimer running the offensive show might ultimately not work, but there's something to be said that the head coach wants to sink or swim on his own terms. If it works, the Cowboys will have presumably put together another double-digit win season and made it to the NFC Championship game. That feels like the bar McCarthy has to clear to earn another season as head coach with Dan Quinn back and waiting in the wings. If the experiment doesn't work, it allows for a clean break, a complete reset from both parties since Schottenheimer is McCarthy's guy. If Quinn is promoted as head coach, he'll use his extensive connections to identify the team's next offensive coordinator. How many fans would be opposed to that?